My name is Jenny Sloan. My farm is RJ Farms in Lithia.
Come here, guys.
I work in partnership with Sunshine State American Mustang and Burro Association. When I was about 9 or 10, got my very first horse. Always loved them, always wanted to be around them. And it wasn't until I was an adult and my children were older that I got back into horses.
Come on, guys. Come on.
This is Danica. Danica was definitely named after Danica Patrick because she used to be a racehorse. But she needed a second career. So her new career is to teach people how to ride. So she does little kids lessons, she does trail rides, she does all kinds of things. She's a super sweet horse. She used to actually be my daughter's horse, but now she helps us pay the bills around here. This horse and I have gone round and round. It took me months to get her to trust me. And right now, I've been riding her for about 4 months. Micah is a 3-year-old domestic bred Kiger Mustang. What that means is that both of his parents were wild, and he was bred in captivity. His parents bred in captivity, and he is the offspring. Koa is a 2-year-old Wyoming Mustang. He came from a place called Mantle Ranch out in Wyoming. He was captured as a yearling and then was adopted in February of this past year. This is Disciple. Disciple came in at the same time as Koa. He was originally a California Mustang. He was herded up as a yearling, adopted out in February of this past year. This is his 2nd year. He, unfortunately, is part of a federal investigation for abuse. Every Mustang has a brand. When they're captured from the wild, they're brought in and they're processed, every one of them. They're ran through a chute system, they're vaccinated, they're gelded if they're boys, which means they're no longer able to have babies. And each one of them is freeze branded on their neck. It's always on the left-hand side of their neck. Other breeds will have brands, but the Mustangs will always have their brand on the left side of their neck. And the hieroglyphics each represent a different thing. The first letter is a U, which of course is for the US. The next 2 are the year of the horse's birth to the best of their knowledge. Some of them are born in captivity, so those they know for sure. The other ones, they just guesstimate. The next 2 letters or symbols represent the herd management area of where the horse was captured from, whether it's New Mexico, Nevada, California, Wyoming, wherever. And then the last 4 numbers represent the original adopter of the horse. It's attached to the first person that ever adopts the horse. And that's the number that will always identify the horse from this point forward. Mustangs are rounded up at various times of the year through the Bureau of Land Management. They are herded up via helicopter roundups, and it's a real controversial topic. A lot of people don't feel that that's safe for the horses. A lot of the wild horse advocates are against the roundups. They round them up, they put them into federal holding facilities. Currently, we have around 30,000 wild horses in holding facilities all over the country. Mustang Heritage Foundation is another organization that partners with the Bureau of Land Management, and they put on these extreme Mustang makeover competitions. And the goal is to get the wild horses adopted. Okay, the goal is to take 100 horses out of various holding facilities, give them to trainers throughout the country, let the trainers train them, and get them back out into the general public and adopt them out as now domesticated horses. It resolves several problems. It pulls them out of holding facilities and it gets the horses into the public where they don't have to be in these long-term holding facilities anymore. Unfortunately, the laws that are put into place to protect the wild horses say that the government has to take care of the wild horses. It doesn't say that they have to keep them wild. Yes, the federal government is obligated to take care of the wild horses, but they can take care of them in holding facilities. It's kind of a win-win. Instead of leaving them in these capture locations, we get them into domestic situations and we teach them about domestic things. I get really angry because there's a lot of this process that is not easy. It's hard. And I get beat up a lot. I've had head injuries from horses. I've had people kicked in the face by horses. I've had horses that I never thought would ever in a million years let you even touch them, much less ride them. I get angry that people suck so bad. And that's hard. That's hard to deal with. We picked up 2 babies recently, and the babies were knee deep in mud. And they were in a Sanford and Sons junkyard, covered in mud. They couldn't pull their feet out of the water. And then they got out of the water, and they both looked at me like, please get me out of here. And I had to be very politically correct with the owner because I'm totally at the owner's mercy. And I have to tell them, I'm gonna do everything I can do. I'm gonna help the horse, I'm gonna be fine. And my heart's telling me I hate this person and I just wanna get the horse to safety. But I have to play the game. So I get them home, and then I have to start praying that they don't die because they haven't eaten in weeks, and I'm trying to introduce food back to them. And I have to spend hours when they're colicking on the ground and they're in pain because they haven't eaten, and I'm trying to give them a handful of food. And then I have to figure out ways to pay for it all. And I have to call my vet and say, hey, I'm gonna do a fundraiser, I'm gonna do a car wash, I'm gonna do a bake sale, I'm gonna sell things. I'm gonna sell old tack that people donate to me. I'm gonna sell whatever I have to sell or take whatever donation I can take so that I can pay the bills so that I can keep doing it. There's a lot of days I go home and I'm angry. I'm angry that somebody was given the most amazing gift and they just totally dismissed it. They have no idea the connection that you can have with one of these horses. This is a wild horse. God put this animal here, and they have no idea what the gift is. So I guess I'm very, very, very fortunate that I have a whole bunch of them. Because I get very fulfilled every day. Every day they tell me stories. Every day they tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly. They tell me if they like things, and it's not one of those cheesy Dr. Dolittle things. It's truly, they learn that I'm not gonna hurt them.